To achieve this, they restructured the study of history itself. James Mill, in his infamous History of British India, 1817, divided Indian history into three arbitrary periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British, deliberately framing the British as the saviors who brought enlightenment after two dark ages. He never visited India, but his writings shaped British colonial education policy for decades. Max Miller, while contributing to translations of Sanskrit texts, also laid the foundation for using religious texts to divide Indians along religious lines. He and others emphasized differences rather than the rich history of coexistence and shared culture. British textbooks vilified Indian rulers like Tipu Sultan and Rani Lakshmibai as rebels or savages, while glorifying colonial officers and missionaries as heroic bringers of order. They downplayed the achievements of southern dynasties like the Cholas, Pandyas, and Vijayanagara Empire, whose temples, naval power, and administrative systems rivaled the greatest empires in the world. Ancient Indian texts were selectively translated and interpreted to emphasize caste discrimination, while ignoring the deep philosophical, spiritual, and scientific knowledge they carried. Local folklore and oral traditions were labeled as myth and replaced with European historical frameworks that diminished the Indian sense of identity and continuity. The goal wasn't education, it was indoctrination. British schools and universities taught Indians a version of their past that justified British control. They promoted the idea that India had never been a united nation, that Indians were incapable of ruling themselves, and that only through British guidance could India become modern. But this version of history was a lie. It was a strategic distortion designed to break India's spirit from within.